Titus of the state of Nevada for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, Mr. Ranking Member. Mr. Isaacson, would you go over this for me just again, very simply? What was the justification given by President Trump for levying tariffs against Mexico?
The main justification was that Mexico wasn't cooperating enough in stopping fentanyl coming to the United States.
Right. And now that the president is threatening a trade war with Mexico, has that compelled greater cooperation from their authorities on this issue?
I guess if Mexico thinks they can stop the tariffs, then they will come up with some seizures and they'll bomb some labs and things like that. But it won't help with things like complex investigations and intelligence now.
So it really hasn't moved that.
No, and if the tariffs happen, then what incentive does Mexico have once their economy is cratering to keep cooperating?
And that's part of the problem. Will they happen? Will they not?
Right.
On what products? How much? What percent? That sort of thing.
Right.
Well, will cuts to the INL programs in Mexico help or hurt our ability to stem the flow of fentanyl into the country?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this before. You can't just have better scanners at the border and hope or bomb a few labs. It costs $60,000 to start a new fentanyl lab. You need a lot of the things that INL does, which is building intelligence, building port security programs, canine, courts, all this other stuff so that you can stop the whole network that's doing this rather than just try to stop it at a scanner on the border. And if you disrupt INL programs, you're disrupting that very, very, very important ingredient in the fight.
So it's working counter to what you claim is the purpose of the tariffs and other dealings with Mexico.
Threatening your partners, really taking away their incentive to cooperate while freezing and restarting and halting and putting waivers and confusing the programs that you are running is obviously not going to be helpful. It's going to be helpful maybe to the people producing fentanyl.
So in the meantime, in addition to the tariffs, can you talk about the effect of the Trump administration's prioritizing arbitrary mass deportations over things like root causes of terrorism, transnational crime, drug trafficking, human trafficking, weapons trafficking, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, the Trump administration is trying to do mass deportation with the existing people they have, right? Like 5,500 ICE enforcement and removal officers, which means where are they going to get the manpower? They're taking it from DEA, they're taking it from DOJ, everything, Bureau of Prisons, ICE, HSI, Homeland Security Investigations. These are the agencies that are supposed to be working on these drug cases, as well as cases, everything from child pornography to human trafficking. They're all being devoted to rounding up migrants now, often even migrants without criminal records. And it's a really, really disastrous diversion of our law enforcement resources.
So could you sum that up by saying that it's made us less safe, not more safe?
Yeah, I mean, I would put it this way, if you are a fentanyl trafficker or a child pornographer or something like that, you are feeling less pressure from federal law enforcement since January 20th because of this diversion of resources.
Because they're focused somewhere else and you can get away perhaps.
Yeah, they're focusing on migrants. And if you're not in the migrant smuggling business, you have less to worry about.
Yeah. So if we're going to impose tariffs on Mexico, that's going to be a tax on families in my district.
Sure.
People in Nevada are going to pay more out of pocket. If you don't have money in your pocket, you can't go on holiday. People won't be coming to Las Vegas for a holiday. Mm-hmm. Certainly if you're from Canada or Mexico, you're not going to be as likely to come as a tourist, and that's our main source of tourism. And at the same time, what we're doing is undercutting our response to the flow of fentanyl. Does that pretty much summarize the problem?
Yeah,
the situation?
I mean, the arguments against tariffs are pretty strong economically here at home, but also, yeah, I mean, if you are a Mexican government official, even one who really believes in this fight, what's your incentive to cooperate if you're being punished without even any clear benchmarks or guidelines about how to stop the punishment? And the same goes for fentanyl as well as working against migrant smuggling through Mexico too. You're just, what's going to push you to work harder to do the Americans a favor and work harder together on this if you already have a 25% tariff on all of your goods?
All right. Well, thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Representative Titus.